Hey everybody, it's Norm from Tested, and I'm wrapping up this week with a really quick and fun show and tell. So earlier this summer, I was at San Diego Comic-Con, and one of the neatest things I saw at the convention this year was from Kotobukiya. They make statues, collectibles, snap-fit model kits from Metal Gear, Armored Core, and something that we shot a video about wasn't a model kit or a pop culture toy or collectible, but an artist support item. It was a model of the right hand, an articulated model that artists can use as reference or to pose or just have fun with. And it was a crowdfunding campaign that was very successful over in Japan. And since then, it's now available for pre-order in the United States. Kotobukiya actually sent me one recently. I got to check it out, so we're gonna take a look at it today. So here it is. This is the artist support item. It comes in two colors, and I have the white one here. I'm gonna pop open the box so you can take a look. I've already opened it, but this is just a little bit of that packaging experience. And it is right here. So very simply, as we talked about when I first previewed it, it is an articulated hand model. Here, just the right hand that they're launching. So in two colors, gray and white, no word on whether they'll do a left hand, but as you can see, unlike the classic wooden reference models that you would use for hands, this is very highly articulated. So not only do you have individual finger movements and all the joints for your digits, but most impressively, you can collapse the hand a little bit here and create a fist to things like your standard peace sign, and I've seen in their examples even holding simple things like playing cards. Lots of different posing options here, as well as a ball joint on the bottom for that wrist movement, a little bit of swivel there. And on the bottom, there are these 3.5 millimeter mounting points because it also comes with a simple plastic stand. So the stand has two modes with these rods that they come with. So very simply, the basic mode is you just plug those two in here and pop them in, and you can have the hand on a stand. This is pretty neat. Something I wanted to see was not only what types of poses you could do with this, but whether you could use this in order to hold objects as well for display or reference. If you're an artist, not only do you want to have just the hand by itself, but often your characters are going to be holding things, and that can be a challenging thing to get reference for. And so one thing I wanted to test was maybe a large object. So I got here is a machined aluminum lightsaber hilt, and if we wrap the artist item here, this hand, artist support item, I can get the basic pose of a hand holding a lightsaber, but it doesn't really hold. It slips out. The joints here, they're rigid enough to stay in the pose when I pose them, but it's not rigid enough to actually hold a weighted item like this lightsaber. Yeah, that's not gonna work, unfortunately, but let's try something more lightweight. So I have here from Paragon FX Group, this is their licensed Blade Runner Blaster Water Pistol Edition. Super fun. So very lightweight plastic, and let's see what happens if we try to get the hand wrapped around the blaster with trigger discipline. Should be the perfect scenario for this, because the grips have indentations for the fingers as well as the thumb, and okay, it's holding it, but I can tell that it's not a very firm grip. So even if I shake this a little bit, yeah, you can tell it's kind of bouncing around. And while it does hold the pose, if I manipulate this a little bit, it doesn't really want to hold even an object like a blaster here. Nope, it's fallen off. So something I wish that they would do is maybe add some tensioning for the joints, most importantly that thumb joint right here, right at the base of the thumb. This movement is something I could see that could use some variable tensioning, but that's not here. And I understand why it can't hold items, because while it does have that full range of motion and movement, this is still hard plastic. It doesn't deform and compress like your muscles do underneath your skin as you're holding something. So when you're gripping something, it's actually pushing against the pads of your palm. So unfortunately, that's not something you can do. I know you can hold simple things like playing cards between the fingers. That's fine, but larger objects, it won't be able to, unless you're just kind of cupping it in the hand itself. One final test, I remember back when we were working with Frank Ippolito, he was doing hand castings for a glove company, and one of the hard things to do was have a hand actually fit inside a glove. They actually had to engineer like magnetically removable fingers to get them fit in the glove. So something that this could do, and we'll see if it works. I have this work glove here, is because it has the ability to fold the thumb in, I believe this should not be a problem to get, to get this hand inside a glove, whether it's a fingerless glove or here, where's that pinky? There it goes. So yes, there it goes. You can see individual fingers all in here. Fits like a glove. This glove's actually a little bit too big for this hand. But if you wanted to put a glove on the hand for reference, that would also work. And it's a testament to just that flexibility of this model. Something I also notice is I've been messing around with it. It is just like almost like a fun desk fidget toy, just to be able to move this around and pose this and have it on the stand. Is when I had this on the stand, while there is this ball joint here, you get a little bit of tilt, there's no swivel. You don't actually get the ability to rotate the hand because that's not in this ball joint. And when you have it on that stand, the stand does have two modes. You also have the ability to mount the stand so it's at a 90 degrees. Let's show that real quick. Like so. That's neat, but if I wanted to quickly rotate that, and show the palm of the hand, I would have to remove it and then replug that in. So simple solution, I went and just got some armature wire. So again, the right gauge, measure a 3.5 millimeter diameter, and you can just plug that armature wire in, maybe two of them, maybe a couple of them, twist them up a little bit, and plug them into that same stand, and you have more flexible movement. It's not bad. I think over time, though, I might wear a little bit. I want something just more quickly accessible and movable, and so I want to actually attach it to maybe like actual camera arm, a small little magic arm. And so what I did was I took this and took my phone and took a picture of the base of it. So imported that image into Adobe Illustrator and drew out a flat SVG of just the base of this with the positions of all these holes. Then imported that into Tinkercad real quick, did some very simple and quick 3D modeling, and prototyped these plugs that I can use that not only have perfect alignment with the base of the hand here, but also the option to have an insert for a 1/4-20 mount. So what I ended up having, based on a couple of these prototypes, is a perfect fit plug that matches up and aligns with the holes here. So that perfectly plugs in here, and then this hole, it's a little bit of an oval, actually then perfectly fits in a 1/4-20 mount. I also have a single piece printed out. So for example, that's my 1/4-20. we will plug this in. Goes in this one way. Pretty nice tight fit on the hand here. And then I can screw this onto a simple off-the-shelf adjustable magic arm like this. So that's just a 1/4-20 mount. Rotate that on. You can get these magic arms for like $15 online. Some of them come with clips or clamps that you can clamp them onto a workbench. I have it screwed into a monopod base, and very simply, then I can rotate this, get that rotational movement on the wrist, and have it posed in any shape, orientation, direction. Tighten that up, and then get that pose away. I've been really enjoying playing with this, having it on my desk kind of just as a little bit of a fidget toy. I imagine very useful for artists as a reference. Can't wait till they actually release the left hand, the other side to this, so you can get, clasp and hands interacting with each other. And I do wish maybe for a future version there would be some way to add tension or change the tension some of those joints. You can actually grip larger items, or even have different sizes of these. This is kind of a relative medium to small hand. I'd love to see a larger hand as well. Very cool, comes from Kotobukiya. They sent me this one to check out, and it is available for pre-order on Amazon, on Kotobukiya's website, as well as Big Bad Toy Store. I'll have links where you can find it below in the description. But a very cool piece of kit that we first saw at Comic-Con, now shipping internationally to backers in Japan and coming next year to the States. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.
I can't thank you enough for supporting us by watching the channel. If you've been to our merch store, you might want to head there again because we are always updating our roster with new products. Here is the anime-inspired Tested logo in Japanese, one of my all-time favorite new designs. We're also selling Tested mugs and Tested hats. Oh, and if you want a cup of tea, we're selling that too.
Tested-store.com.
Tested-store.com.